Hello everyone. In this video I'll be doing a kind of versus comparison between Doctor and Beast. So Doctor and Beast were both movies directed by Nelson Dilip Kumar, and Doctor was released in 2021 and Beast was released in 2022. So this is a kind of reviewing both movies and seeing what was good and what worked and what didn't work in both the movies. So firstly, let's start with Doctor. So Doctor stars Sivakarthikeyan and Priyanka Mohan in the lead roles, and we also have other cast members who, especially the comedians, did pretty well in the movie. Like Yogi Babu and the other two guys who the names I can't remember at the moment, but their characters were Mahali and Kili, and we also have Redding Kingsley, who received much praise for his comedy in the movie. So the storyline of our Doctor is it is a thriller movie, suspense thriller movie, I would say action thriller movie, and also a dark comedy at the same time. So there is a lot of dark humor in the movie, but the storyline itself is rather realistic. So in the story we see that the hero is fighting against a human trafficking ring. So uh, rather, to put it more simply, sex trafficking and human trafficking ring. So one of his the heroes had a potential partner, and he went to try to get married to this girl who is Priyanka Mohan. So Sivakarthikeyan is a hero who is he plays a hero who is very strict and very proper in the movie, and Priyanka Mohan plays a young woman who is very quite more emotional and more emotional and more of wanting to experience life, while he is more proper and very straight, wanting to do everything the correct way, and also a rather unemotional character. So the girl's sister had okay, the engagement between them did not go well, did not go forward, but then he gets to know that the girl's sister has been younger, or rather the girl's niece, the girl's sister's daughter has been abducted, and so he tries to get her back. So that is how he gets involved with this drug trafficking, or sorry, the this human trafficking ring. And so the story is whether he manages to successfully get the niece back, young lady's niece back, and whether he wins the fight with the villains and gets the girl, so on and so forth. And there are a lot of comedy scenes littered throughout the movie. So some of them are quite rather dark humor, and if you are a fan of dark humor, you you would definitely enjoy the movie. And if you have already watched the movie, I'm sure you enjoyed those scenes. And the storyline itself is I felt that is something that might really be happening in India. So the story happens in India, so I'm using India as an example. So I find that there's a story that it might actually be happening, right now at this moment. Human trafficking. So in the story, this gang, this syndicate, they traffic young girls and sell them as sexual slaves to rich people who are looking for young girls for this kind of reasons. So I am sure that this kind of underworld things do happen. So it kind of is like a look into the underworld, just a small look into the underworld without being too gory or too violent and all those kind of things. So it was quite interesting to see a director handling a sensitive kind of subject and also managing to deliver humor and putting it in a presentable way. Yeah. The villain in the movie is played by Vinay. So Vinay, he previously played a hero in many movies, and so I believe this is his first venture as a villain, and he nailed his performance down to the yeah, I'm not sure what to describe yet. I know forgot the term to describe it. Yeah, but he nailed his performance as a villain. He is a strong, very strong villain against Sivakarthikeyan, and that is what makes the story so interesting. So we want to, as they say, the villain makes the hero also. So if the villain is rather weak and rather inefficient, then the storyline itself will be rather dull and uninteresting. So the story has a very strong villain, and Sivakarthikeyan character has to fight to outwit and outsmart him, and also to achieve his goals. So the storyline is also very engaging. When I watched the movie, I had very little skippable scenes. I saw very little skippable scenes. Everything seemed arranged rather neatly. So I felt engaged when I watched the movie. And there are some scenes I really like in the movie. For example, there's a train fight scene with the two Baal villains where they have to kidnap one of them, and that scene I believe was shot in Chennai, and it was shot very beautifully. Both the exterior and the interior of the train. So in the exterior we see some aerial shots, and interior we see the fight scene. So that was shot very beautifully, and it also had some humor and comedy in it. And the commercial success of Doctor did 100 crores at the box office. So that was back in 2021, and I would say that Doctor is a movie you can watch it with your family members, although some scenes might be a little bit more dark, but I believe it is still a movie you can watch with your family members. And it was a different kind of movie from what I usually see in Tamil movies. So my rating for Doctor is a 9 out of 10. So Doctor is also the first 100 crore movie for Sivakarthikeyan, and we can see why when we watch the movie. Okay, now let's go to Beast. So Beast stars Thalapathy Vijay and Pooja Hegde in the lead roles, and it was released in 2022. It clashed with KGF, and KGF clearly became the commercial juggernaut, and but that was not to say that Beast didn't do well, because Beast did well commercially too. Beast was a movie that was very much hyped because it was coming off the success of Doctor. So Nelson Dilikumar, the director for Beast, also his last movie was Doctor with Sivakarthikeyan, and that was a huge hit. So the expectations for Beast were over the roof. Is that an expression? I'm not sure. Yeah, the expectations for Beast were really sky high, and the test was whether Nelson Dilikumar was able to deliver another kind of not really another kind of Doctor, but another hit movie, which is also critically acclaimed. So I would say, I forgot to mention earlier, Doctor is a movie that received many positive reviews, both for the direction of Nelson Dilikumar and for the performances of the characters, for all of the characters So we have the hero Sivakarthikeyan, heroine Priyanka Mohan, the comedians Radin Kingsley, we have Yogi Babu, we have the VJ, one of the VJs, and we have the other comedians. So all of them received positive reviews from the audience and also from their critics. So coming back to Beast, it was much hyped both for Thalapathy Vijay and for Nelson Dilip Kumar. And when it was released, it became the subject of much trolling, and I'll just go through why. So Beast opens with he is a raw agent. Thalapathy Vijay plays a raw agent who accidentally kills a young girl during one of his missions in Pakistan, and so he feels very bad about it, and he is traumatized by it, and so he resigns from his job and he just stays at home and goes to therapy. And from there he meets this psychiatrist who is trying to help him, and the psychiatrist at one point he is unable to make any change happen, so he brings Thalapathy Vijay, who in the movie is Veera. He brings Veera to a wedding where he meets Pooja Hegde, and so that is the kind of point where Veera, Thalapathy Vijay and Pooja Hegde kind of have a little start of the romance between them, and she asks him to come work with her in her security office, and he agrees, and from there they go to work together. And on the first day of Veera's job, he goes to a mall, follows his boss. His boss is played by VTV Ganesh, and we have some other bodyguards or other security guards who are all old elderly men. So he leads a team of elderly men, and he goes to the mall with Veera and with Pooja Hegde. And so they find out that the mall is hijacked, and so the storyline is whether Veera is able to save the day, save the captives, and defeat the hijackers, and whether everything will be back to whether he will save the day, and whether everyone will have a happy ending at the end. That is the story. And while the movie was initially, it started out very good, and it was going very well until the point where there is a scene where Yogi Babu and Radin Kingsley, they were both trying to escape from this kind of place, and until that scene, the movie was going quite well. But after that, it just kind of became apparent that this storyline is not really going to be anything very impressive, and but it might just be entertaining for the action and comedy, and that is how the movie turned out to be. So the storyline really becomes very dull at one point, and as the story goes along, it manages to entertain the audience, but it does not do anything that is really very impressive or really very new, which is what the audience wanted. Many of the audience members wanted, and also the villain of the movie was one of the weakest villains, I would say, I have ever seen in cinema, in a movie. And while at first he seems a threatening and menacing villain, as the story goes along, he keeps on losing to Veera, the raw agent. He keeps on losing to him, and so we see that with each loss, his appearance, his kind of aura, and his kind of the scary aspect of the villain itself just kind of fades away, little by little, until we just see him as kind of being like a dummy that Vera can easily kill off, but he's just waiting for the right opportunity. The fight scenes of the movie were brilliant. So the masters, I believe, unbelievable. I believe they are twins, two of them. So the fight scenes were just incredible from start to finish. The fight scenes, I'll give them a 10 out of 10 for all of the fight scenes. The movie has incredible cinematography. So the set of the movie, the main set of the movie is the mall, and there is a YouTube video where we can see the making of the mall. So the mall itself is a entire set, and when I watched the movie, I didn't think that it was a set, because everything seemed very very much real, like exactly how it would be if you walked into a popular shopping center. From everything, like the shops and the space to walk around, and the kind of shops that will be inside a regular mall. So everything, the set was prepared so brilliantly, and much credits to the team that designed and built the set. You guys and girls did an amazing job, and I have to thank you for that, because that really, the set was really incredible. And watching the movie, it really felt we can really see the kind of hard work that went behind it. So thank you for that. And the movie has a great background score and great music, of course, scored by Anirudh. We have 3 songs. One is Halamadi Habibu, or Arabic Kutu, which became the biggest, I would say, it's the biggest hit of 2022, and it is still a popular song in Instagram reels and TikTok videos. And it's also used in several kind of advertisements and for shows and such. And we'll have Jolly Gymkhana sung by Taluradi Vijay, that comes right at the end of the movie. And after the end of the movie, so it's the very last thing you see before the credits come. There was a nice song too, and the kind of motivational hype song for Taluradi Vijay. There was a Tirai Ti Pudikkum that comes also near the end, where Veera kidnaps the so-called main villain of the movie, and is trying to get back to safety and save the day again. So my expectations for Beast were rather high, because of the trailer, and because of the stills, and because of everything that I was hearing about the director Nelson Dilkumar. And also the look for Talapati Vijay was rather fierce and rather intimidating. So, and in this movie also, he was rather unemotional kind of character, showing very little emotion and being almost kind of robotic in a way, but also being very threatening, very intimidating, very kind of ruthless, and kind of dominating everyone else. So that was a very new kind of way to present Talapati Vijay, and appreciate the effort from Nelson Dilkumar. I believe that Nelson Dilkumar is a great observer of people. So he observes the cast members, and he tries to incorporate what the cast members are like in real life, or what they have observed in other kind of characters, and he tries to incorporate that, and that is a thing that he does rather brilliantly. So credits to that, Mr. Nelson Dilkumar. And well, other than that, as the storyline goes, you just don't have much expectations anymore. If you came in with high expectations, then it will kind of fade away, because the storyline does not deliver anything great or special, and there are many over the top scenes, many exaggerated scenes, and unrealistic scenes through the movie. which one would expect in a Tamil movie, but being being this movie where most of the audience already watched Doctor, and they were expecting something more realistic. So this time it kind of upset the audience to see the over the top scenes, the unrealistic scenes. It upset some of the audience members, and so that some of those scenes became the subject of trolling and meme material online. Like one example would be the flight scene where Vera is saluting one of the pilots who came to rescue him. So that became a big meme online. As a story, I would only rate before I give my rating, I would say I'll mention the commercial success of Beast. Commercially, Beast was a success at the box office. It collected between 227 to 250 crores. I believe the budget of the movie was around 200 crores or something like that. So commercially, Beast was a success, 227 to 250 crores, or maybe more, because the statistics were not updated after a certain point. So my rating for Beast and my experience of watching Beast, as a person who, as a casual fan maybe, or as a general audience member, just reviewing the story itself, I would say that it is only 4 out of 10 for the story and for the screenplay, and for how it was presented. But as a fan of Thalapathy Vijay, I would give it an 8 out of 10, because I really love the action scenes and the music, the songs by Anirudh. The background score was really incredible. So the background score really elevated the action scenes, and it really added to the suspense kind of feel during some of the scenes. And the weak points of Beast, the weak villains, and also the comedians could have been used more properly. So we have some of the comedians from Doctor, such as Yogi Babu one, Red Dead Kingsley. We have also the two Mahali Kili, the combo. So some of the comedy scenes didn't work at all. So it did not cause laughter. It did not get laughter out of me, and I believe out of many audience members. Some of the comedy scenes were okay. Some of the comedy scenes were good, but I really believe that they could have been a lot better if maybe there was some more time available. Maybe the comedy scenes would have been much more better. So I would say the flaws of the movie are a weak villain. The comedy is kind of not up to expectations. The storyline is the main thing. It was not up to expectations. It did not deliver what the audience expected. The unrealistic scenes and the over the top scenes really also added to the audience's disappointment, because they were expecting a very solid storyline, and Beast did not deliver the solid storyline, but it has amazing, incredible cinematography, incredible songs, incredible fight scenes, incredibly choreographed fight scenes, and the great set design. It has a great cast and crew. So the cast and crew, they did a good job by portraying all of their characters, and I will only recommend that, or my only feedback, or maybe I would say my biggest disappointment in the movie would be, I would say that I expected a rather more realistic kind of storyline. But overall, being a Thalapathy Vijay fan, I really enjoyed watching Beast. In fact, I watched the movie twice in cinema just to see my Thalapathy Vijay and to, of course, admire Pooja Hegde and also laugh at the comedy. And of course, I like the set of the movie too. The mall set is really very beautiful. The location itself also, where the mall set is, it is rather quite nice and pleasant to look at. So I like the mall set and also the kind of location of the mall set. So as a fan, I would say yeah, 8 out of 10 for the movie. So which movies do I think is better? I would say the better movie, if you're looking for a realistic storyline, definitely I would recommend you to watch Doctor. But if you're just looking for entertainment, to be entertained for 2+ hours, then I would say both of the movies are great. But I would recommend you to watch Doctor if you're looking for something more different, and if you're just looking for so Beast is a rather more a fun watch, jolly. It was supposed to be a very, or rather it was expected to be a very serious movie from the trailer, because we see, the subject is this guy this guy is fighting against terrorists and hijackers. So it was expected to be very much serious and very much raw and very much kind of dark, but it turned out to be very humorous and of course very fun, and some of the scenes are worthy of being, we can make fun of them, but overall it is a very fun movie to watch, a rather entertaining and jolly movie. So if you're looking for a jolly movie, I would recommend Beast. So yeah, I would recommend Doctor if you're looking for something more realistic, and Beast if you're looking for something just to pass the time and watch something fun. But I would say both movies are worth watching, because there are good elements in the movie that make them worth watching at least once, and then you can, if you like the movie, you can decide whether you want to watch them once more or more times than that. So Doctor is streaming on Netflix right now, and so is Beast. Beast is also on Netflix. Both of the movies are on Netflix. So if you like to watch the movies, you can go to your Netflix and do a quick search for which movie you're looking for, either Doctor or for Beast. And so what do you think? Have you watched Doctor and have you watched Beast? What do you think of Doctor? What do you think of Beast? What do you think of the two movies? If you have watched both of the movies, what do you think of both the movies? And do you agree with my points that I put out here, my kind of observations? Do you agree with my review of both the movies? Do let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, then give it a like and share this video, and also do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to. And until the next video, thank you for watching, thank you for your attention, and take care and goodbye.